Namaste, Khush Raho Bitya. I am GVN Dr. Sunita Bhati, Faculty of Education and Methodology, Department of Science and Technology, JVWU, Women's University. I am going to teach you Advanced Java Programming. This is our third session. And earlier we have discussed about frame classes in Java, how we can create a frame. AWT class, we have discussed AWT classes and other features of advanced Java. Now, in this subject is of BTech 6th semester class, and in today's lecture, today's session, I'm going to teach you about event handling in Java. First of all, event and listener. What is the meaning of event? What is the concept of event? So, in very simple language, an event is an action performed on an object. For example, if you click a button, this is an event. This is click event. If you double click a button, then it is double click event. If you drag mouse pointer, then dragging is also an event. If you write something in text box, it is also an event. So the action performed on an object, this is called an event. Now the next term is listener. Listener is a method that listen and that execute when an particular event performs or happens. Means if you are clicking on a button, then listener, if you create a listener on clicking on a button, then listener listen the event, click event. When click event happens, it listener method is listen the event and execute its code. Means listener is a method which execute when an event occurs or happens. In very simple language, listener is a method which executes when an event happens. Okay. Now, this is what is the meaning of event handling? I told you about event and listener. Now, what is event handling? Event handling is a process through which a programmer handle a particular event when an event occurs. Then after occurring an event, what will happen? Means if you click on button, then what will happen after clicking on button? Then programmer handle this event by creating some listeners. Okay, so this is called event handling. When an event performs or occurs, and programmer decides what will happen after that event through their code, then this process is called event handling. Okay, and to perform event handling, you have to import a package java.awt.event, and it provides many event classes and listener interfaces for event handling. So you can see here in this table what are the various event classes, and what are their listener interfaces. So first of all, it is written here action event. This is a class. This is the most common class which is frequently used in our program. Action event is an event class, and its listener interface is action listener. Now the next class is mouse event, and mouse events listener is mouse listener and mouse motion listener. And mouse wheel event and its listener is mouse wheel listener. For key event, key listener is used. For item event, item listener is there. For text events, text listener interface is there. For adjustment event, adjustment listener is used. For window event, window listener is used. For component event, component listener is used. For container event, container listener is used. And for focus event, focus listener is used. Excuse me. Now, the next step is step to perform event handling. How we will achieve event handling in our program? So there are some steps which are required for event handling. First is register the component with the listener class. So registration method is as follows. For registering the component with the listener class, many classes provide the registration methods. For example, button. For button, we are giving an example for button. To register a button, what will we write in our programming? Public void add action listener method. Add action listener method. We create add action listener method and we passes an argument, an object of action listener class A. We create this method add action listener for button. For doing event handling for button class or for button object, we have to create this method add action listener method. Okay. Now for menu item, public void add action listener, again this method is used and we have to pass action listener class object into it. For text field class, there are two methods, public void add action listener and action listener class object is passed, and the second is public void add text listener and text listener object is passed into this function, into this method. Okay, so there are two methods for text field. What is text field? Do you know? Where you write the text, where you input your text. Text, it is just like a text box. In Java, we call it as text field. Okay, in this text field, you can input your text, and there are two methods for event handling in text field: add action listener method and add text listener method. The next is text area. Text area where you can type a block of text, means large amount of text. So for this you have add text listener method, and the text listener class object is passed into this method. For checkbox, if you want to handle the check events on checkbox, you have to use this method add item listener method, and this method passes an argument as item listener class object. The next is choice. If you handling the event for choice of choice component, there is a method add item listener, and add item listener class object is passed into this method. Again, list if you are handling the list component event on if you are handling event on list component, then there are two methods. add action listener, uh, having argument as a class object, action listener class object. And the next is add item listener method, and its argument is item listener class object. So these are all uh, the components which you are generally used in your window based uh, window based programming. And if you handle the event which performs on these objects, on these components, you have to use these listeners in your program. Okay, how you will use these listener, we will discuss later on. Okay, now come to the next step, Java event handling code. The most important concept, how you can code, how you can write a program for event handling. So uh, there are you can say event handling can be achieved by using three ways. First of all, within class, you can uh, handle the event within the class. We can handle the event other class in other class. You can handle events for by using anonymous class. Now, how you will handle, how you will write the code for event handling. So first of all, I am taking an example, Java in event handling by implementing action listener class. Okay, let's see the example. Let's see the program. First of all, we include AWT package in our program. So what is the statement? Import single space java.awt.asterisk. This is AWT package, Java AWT package, which you are required to import in your program, because you will use AWT classes like button, frame, etc. in your program. So this is essential to import these AWT, this AWT package. Now the next package you have to import is import java.aw.event.sts package, because you want to handle some events on objects, components, objects. So for handling events, you have to import java.aw.event.sts. Now after importing these two packages, um, we will start our class. And class, first of all, we write class as a keyword and single space. Then we type class name according to our wish. You can you can give any name to your for your class. Okay, so I'm taking a event class as class name. Now I am extending this extends by frame class, which is frame class is a AWT class. I'm extending this one. I'm inheriting frame class in our program, and implements action listener interface. Now I am doing what I am doing here. I'm implementing action listener class, action listener interface in this program code. Okay, so I'm going to start the class body opening braces. This now I'm creating an object, a reference text field. This is a class text field. If you want to make a text field to input some text in on your frame, if you want to add a text field on your frame window, then you have to create an object reference here. Text field is a class, and I am taking the name TF. for this class object TF semicolon. I am text field single space TF semicolon. Here what I want to say, I'm creating TF a reference object of that class, text field class. Okay. Now in this step, in the next step, a event method. I'm creating a event method. You can see this method name and class name is exactly same. Means this is a constructor method and having no parameters in function and argument list. Okay. So this is default constructor. Now this is the constructor a event which executes automatically when this class objects is created. Okay, so what we are going to do in this constructor method, we are let's see the next step, create components. Now we are creating the object. We are TF is the text field object. We are allocating memory in we are creating TF object, and new keyword is used to allocate memory for TF object in RAM. And so TF equals to new text field and parenthesis pair semicolon. In this step, what will happen? New keyword, what is the function of new keyword? New keyword allocates memory to TF object, text field object. Now in the next step, TF dot set bounds. We are setting the bounds. We are setting the size bounds of TF object, text field object. Its distance from x axis is 60, from y axis is 50. Its width text field object width is 170 pixel and height is 20 pixel. So these are the bounds value for text field component. Now in the next step, we are creating a button B. Button class is used, and we are creating button B object, and new keyword allocates the memory of for that object B, and assigning click me as a label name for B object, button object. Now again B dot set. B is calling set bounds method. There are 4 arguments. Distance from x axis is 100, distance from y axis is 120, and its width and its height 80, 30. Means these are the bounds for button B. Now in our next step, register listener. B object, that is button object dot add action listener. This is a keyword. Means what is happening in this statement? If we are adding an action listener to button B, okay, means if an event happens with B button, then this add action listener calls. Okay, now after that, add B. We are adding this B button to our frame. Add B semicolon, add TF. We are adding this text field also to our frame. Both the components, button and text field, we are adding on frame. Okay, through this statement. Now we are calling set size method. Set size method, we are passing 2 arguments, 300 by 300. This this specifies the size of frame. Your frame window, what will be the size of frame window? 300 by 300 pixel. So this is all about the size. Now set layout, we are calling set layout method. We are passing here null because we are not using layout manager here. Now set visible method is used here. What is the functioning of set visible method? Set visible method, when we pass true value in set visible method, it shows our frame window on the screen. If set visible method is passes argument false, then our frame window will not appear on the screen. So this should be true, so that our frame will appear on the screen. Now we close the function body, our constructor body, by using closing braces. Now the next step, we are making action performed method, because we have add action lister method to our B button. Okay, so what will happen after happening any event? This particular method is for event handling for B button. So this method decide what will happen after action event performed on B button. Okay, so public void action perform method, and we are passing an argument action event E. This is object of E is the object of action event class, and its body. In this function body, what we are doing, we are setting the text in text field. Text field is a component on frame, and we are calling the method set text. Tf dot set text method. Tf text field component is calling the method set text, and we are setting value set text welcome. Means we are writing welcome in text field component. Now we are closing this method body. What will happen if, because B is a button and we have added here action listener method, means if any action is performed on B object, this action performed method will call and execute. And what will happen? Welcome is written in the text field component, which is placed on the frame. Okay, when you means when you click on the button B, then welcome is written in welcome writes in the text field button text field component. Okay, because we have done here text field dot set text well. Okay, now after creating this method, it is very essential to create a main method, because program execution starts with the main method. So it is very essential. Now what is how we write main method? Public static void main, and we are passing arguments string type args array, and in this main method body, we have just created an instance. We have just created this call this a event class, new a event class. So as soon as this created is this call a event class, the constructor method automatically calls. The constructor method automatically calls. Our constructor is a event, and automatic this constructor is automatically called, and step by step it will execute. It will create a text field, set bounds of text field, then create a button, and it sets the bounds for button, and then add action listener method is added to be, and then this button and text will added to frame and set the frame size, and uh, its visibility, frame visibility is we have done here true. Now as soon as we have click on the as soon as we have click on the button, welcome is welcome writes in the this text field component. Okay, means when you click on button, welcome appears on this on in this text field. Clear? Click me is the action, and action is handled. This action, click action, this event, click me, when you click, when you are clicking on that button, means click event is happening, and after clicking, what is happening? Welcome is appear in this text box, text field. So this is handling of particular event, click event. We are handling by using action performed method, by using listeners. Okay, so this is all about us event handling, a simple event handling program, and there are another two ways to perform event handling. These ways we will discuss later on in our next session. Okay, so if you have any query about our session, our today's session or previous session, you can ask me by my WhatsApp number, and you can mail me. My WhatsApp number is 907915139, and my email address is bhatsunita01@gmail.com. So this is all about today's lecture. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, JVWU Women's University. Thank you.